Hey man, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. It is time for another exciting edition of What's in My Wallet, this time for the fourth quarter of 2023 from October 1st to December 31st. Summer is now over and we are heading into the final 3 months of the year. So I'm going to tell you what cards I am using during this fourth quarter and would love to hear from you what credit cards you will be using and why. First off, for me is the AAA Daily Advantage Visa. Am I holding that right? Yeah, it looks like I am. This one's going to give me 5% cash back on my grocery store purchases. I've been using this one for a while as my grocery store card. No annual fee. It's got a lot of other good cash back categories as well. We've talked about it in other videos, so if you are unsure on how to get your hands on this one, you can look back at some of those other ones, but this one is still going strong for me. Next up, what is it? It is the Citi Custom Cash, 5% back in the category where you spend the most each billing cycle, up to $500 of purchases during that billing cycle. For me, this has been my restaurant card, and I will continue to use it that way in the fourth quarter of 2023. I don't have any other offers from any of my other credit cards that would make me go away from this one in terms of restaurants. So that is pretty much exclusively how I use this one, but you could choose a lot of other categories as well, depending on, what you like. For me, gas is going to be on the Verizon Visa card in the fourth quarter because I did not get any, better offers in terms of getting 5% on gas. And so I'm getting 4% on gas from Verizon. I'm a Verizon customer. And so I basically will use that 4% to, offset some of my Verizon bill. This is a good card if you're a Verizon customer. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you are not. Next up is the Citi Custom Cash, which is sort of my fallback card for all of my other purchases. This is going to give 2% cash back on everything that you purchase with the card. You get 1% on the front end, you get 1% as you actually pay off your purchases for 2% total. Now, I am actually going to be traveling internationally in the fourth quarter. I'm actually headed to Ireland, and I will be using the Capital One Venture X during that trip for the majority of my purchases. It is going to give 2 points per dollar, which you can use toward travel and some other things potentially as well, but that's how I'll end up using it. No foreign transaction fees from Capital One, so that's going to be the card that I'm mostly going to use when I'm there. However, I will be using the Chase Sapphire Preferred at times because it gives 3% back on restaurant purchases and it has no foreign transaction fees. So that Citi Custom Cash is one where I can get 5% back on restaurants, but it does have foreign transaction fees. So I'll use that in the US in the fourth quarter, but when I'm outside of the country, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is going to get some usage, which it doesn't really very often. And then the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card is not one that I really use very often. My wife uses it for grocery store purchases and gas purchases, and I'm an authorized user on her card, but we also do have our 6% on your streaming services on this card as well, and so that gets put on there by, I guess, both of us really, but this is kind of her go-to card, and it's one that occasionally I will use for groceries. In the fourth quarter, the Chase Freedom Flex will get a little bit of love from me because one of the 5% categories on this card is PayPal, and so any purchases that I make that I can make through PayPal, I will make this the go-to credit card on my account and get the 5% there, and it's got a couple other categories, warehouse clubs, I think, and then charities? I think. Anyway, I know it's PayPal for me, and so that's how I am going to use it. Next up, the Amazon card really doesn't come out of my wallet. It's just a card I have for Amazon purchases, so I won't really be carrying this exactly, but it will get used. Next up, Target Red Card, 5% discount on everything at Target. This is the go-to card, obviously, for any purchases that I make at Target, and so that's always in the wallet. Now, this card is never in the wallet, but I'm going to mention it. It is the Apple card, and the only reason I mention it is because it does get used a little bit because I pay for Apple TV with it, so it gets like I don't know, $750 or whatever Apple TV costs these days. And then my sort of overall backup is the Wells Fargo Autograph Visa, which doesn't get a ton of usage actually, because there's kind of a different card for almost every purchase where I can get a little bit more than this card. But because it has 3% in so many categories, when I kind of just, can't remember what's going on and which card I was going to use for which purchase, I will just go to this one and pull it out and be like, yeah, I know it gives me 3% at restaurants and 3% on gas, so at least I know I'll get the 3%. So it does get used every once in a while, not so much because it's the strongest card, but because it's got so many categories that I at least know I'm going to do better than 2% with it. A couple other cards that I have that I probably won't be using in the fourth quarter, but I wanted to mention them in this video. One of them is the Discover It card, which is giving 5% cash back at Amazon and at Target in the fourth quarter, but I'm already getting 5% at both of those places, so the Discover card probably not going to be in the wallet this time, even though I love to show off that boombox. And then there is the Wells Fargo which one is this? Active Cash Visa, which I just recently got because it replaced the old Wells Fargo Propel American Express card. This is 2% cash back on everything. I didn't even get a bonus on this card. They just sent it to replace the other one, but I don't have any really good reason to use this one versus using the Citi Double Cash, which I already have and which my kids also use as authorized users. So everything just kind of gets consolidated on that. So I've got another 2% card that I probably should have done what somebody else told me they did, which was cancel the account altogether and, maybe get this card in the future if I decided I wanted it. But anyway, I now have it, and I don't know if you could see, but it had like a piece of paper still on it because I couldn't get the sticker off that they have when they send it to you. And then I also have the Amex Platinum, which won't get used in the fourth quarter except maybe for some Uber rides here and there. I continue to hold this card sort of for this YouTube channel, but don't have a whole heck of a lot of use for it. And then finally the Citi Premier, a card that also has a lot of good 3% categories. I rarely end up using this card, though it does have a $95 annual fee. And every year I consider getting rid of it, and I still haven't done it. One of these days, I'm probably going to give it the old heave-ho. All right, I've satisfied your burning desire to know what is going to be in my wallet for the fourth quarter of 2023. I too have a burning desire to know what's going to be in your wallet for the fourth quarter of 2023. So I hope you will put that in that comments section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews. We talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not leaving a comment or you're not going to the website, you know what I would tell you to do next is watch this old video.